Hey guys, it is Brian here, and welcome back to our Cardiff City Career Mode series for FIFA 14. We're going to start off this episode looking at some of our emails that we've gotten here. Also, look at a couple of the players that I've shortlisted based on what you guys are interested in seeing, and then moving through the preseason, which I won't be playing those games, we'll get an idea of how the players are playing. Episode 3 will be when we play our first game of the season, but this episode we got lots of stuff going for us anyways, so first off, let's look at kind of what we got for a league objective in Domestic Cup. Then we'll move over to the this new interesting way to scout, which has got me very excited, but also I am completely unaware of how it works. So we're going to work through that and send some scouts away that we already have. So we'll start off here with the league objective, and the goal is for us to not get relegated. So a pretty simple objective there, and reach the round of 32 in the Domestic Cup. So not that many really big challenges that we're going to have this season, just avoid relegation, which I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do. And, you know, obviously my goal is to beef up this team as best we can going ahead. So we're going to go into the scouting area here, and you can see we have John Deeney, Sergei Marchenko, and Scott Moore. So our three scouts we have right now. We're going to work with these guys for the time being. So let's look into managing Scout. He's got a scout report. We could fire him. Pretty simple there. And instructions over here are specific things we want to find in a player, I'm assuming. So if we want to find a player that, you know, let's say we want to find a right back, we can set it to right back, and, you know, we want him to be between the age of 16 and 25. That's a good age to have. And then you can choose the contract type there as well. So it is a way, at least from what I can see here initially, to kind of get an idea of what you want and really show them what you need. So we'll set this one right here. That's a pretty simple ask for anybody. We'll keep the changes to that there. That's one for a right back. The rest of them we'll leave blank for now. And we'll send these guys out to scout, and we'll get John to go into his home turf, and we'll see how he can do here. But as you can see, these screens are completely different than what has been previously what we've expected. It shows the leagues of the teams that are in there, and also, you know, what you're looking for specifically in that country. So we'll get him going over there. Sergey, we'll send off to Russia. Why not? We wouldn't, you know, a Russian player on a Welsh team. That sounds good to me. Except it doesn't look like we actually can scout that way, though. So that's interesting. I guess we're looking at the actual league and looking at the players through it that way. But let's bump back out here. And like I said, this is a new kind of process that I'm going through right here. So it's something that I'm not completely familiar with. And, you know, obviously, if you guys are playing the game, you can share as much as you want, but here I guess we got your youth staff, and we need to hire scouts to do that. So that's a completely different basket of eggs. So right now we've got this is making a lot more sense actually to me right now. So we have our scouts that we saw right there that we're going to go back to in a second. If I can find them, that is. Where are we at here? We'll just go back to the inbox. That's an easy way to get to them. So we got our scouts that are looking around the league. That's one way to, you know, find players that we want to scout and whatnot. But we got John. He's looking at his hometown. That's good there. I guess we got Russia there too. We'll just have to pull it over there, and we'll get him to go scout in Russia, which is, you know, a good place to look. And why not? We'll look in Scotland as well, and just keep everybody essentially where they are familiar with. And there's some good players over there, so we'll see if we can pull those through. But for the time being, you know, we'll look at instructions a little bit later on. We've already kind of taken a look at the team and what we've got, but that's, you know, a good setup there. We've got that going initially. So that's that right there, and we'll move over to transfers, and we'll look at our short list here. Alright, so here's the short list here as well. You can see search players, scout instructions, which we can do the criteria as we were doing there before, and then short list, and then for here we can do transfer negotiations and selling players on that. But we'll take a look at the short list here. This is pretty much what you guys have recommended, and besides from that, I've left it pretty basic. I've only brought in one more Welsh player to kind of highlight, because he's a guy I played with when I played Leicester City in FIFA 12, and I really loved playing with him. So I thought, you know what, we'll throw him in there as well. But here are the players that you guys have brought into the mix, and I'll give you a little bit of feedback on what I'm thinking in regards to these guys. I don't want to go too crazy. I really don't. We only have 5.5 million pounds to spend initially. But I'm assuming you guys are recommending these players. There's, you know, something there positive. And Jonathan Dos Santos is a guy that actually does interest me, because that is a very, very small fee, at least initially, for a guy like that probably could have a pretty big impact in our team. So he's an interesting player to me. We'd obviously want to scout a little bit on this player here. I'm not going to pronounce his name because I probably wouldn't do that good of a job on it. But Andy King, I know, is probably in the mid-70s or so he'd be a good pickup. But guys that we can get some scouting on, and Floria Thaven and Jonathan Williams, another player that I'm familiar with. I don't really feel like we need a striker at this very moment, even though there's probably a very good striker there as well. And Bakary Saka is a player I like, but something that I don't think specifically calls to our needs that we have, at least the formations that we're running too. So I'm interested in Williams. I'm interested in Thaven, but those are guys that I don't know if we had the money nor really need necessarily right now. But Jonathan Dos Santos sounds like an interesting piece to bring. I want to hear what you guys have to say though, so let me know in the comments section. These are some players that you guys listed. What do you think regarding them? Because we kind of throw them out in the open now. We can talk about these guys and what you think overall. But what I want to do as well is I want to just kind of highlight, maybe see if we get Jay Deeney to scout Jonathan Williams here, because he's in the league that we're looking at there. We can't get anybody assigned to Thaven there. Andy King, we can definitely probably get Jay Deeney to do that too. So we'll get Jay Deeney on some of these players here. And I guess that's what's really going to come in handy, is like, what leagues are you looking at, right? And I guess besides from that, we can't really look at any of these guys. So we'll get a good idea for maybe Jonathan Williams and Andy King. And the other thing that I will do is I will ask what the asking price is for Jonathan Williams, and then we can get maybe a little bit of an idea about where they're at with that. And we'll also do that for Florian Thaven. I'm going to have trouble with that name. It's always a danger. If you're having trouble with the name, don't say it multiple times. That'll give us an idea for some of these guys, and at least we know what they're looking at, because then we have that ballpark, right? And Andy King will do that for him too. That's what I'm thinking we might add initially, but we'll wait and see too. It's not, you know, set in stone as of right now. So yeah, we did that there. That's pretty much what I wanted to do initially, and then we'll move ahead here. We'll go to Central, and again, this whole screen here is very interesting how it's all set up, and we're going to get some information coming in pretty quickly for ourselves here. We'll advance ahead here. We got emails in the office. So we got Jonathan Williams is asking, they're asking for 5.5. We could do that, but also we could transfer. But the other problem is that that's a team that's in the Premier League. They're not. It's not a major, you know, need for them to transfer him off to a team like us. So we can't do Thaven. I actually remember someone specifically saying in the comment section that we couldn't do that. So, and let's check out Andy King. So Andy King is 2.2, not too expensive there. And what we can do for him is we can get a little bit of a scouting in on him and kind of get an idea of, like, okay, this is what this player is going to be like if we brought him in. And also, you know, I'm not going to pull any triggers initially here. That's what I'm definitely not going to do. But what we can do is we can kind of get an idea in this episode, and then, you know, we're going to still have a bit of time when it comes to before the season, so we can get, you know, your responses to that too. What do you think of him and all that jazz? So we're also going to do some loaning here too, because we got some younger players that I feel like should deserve to have an opportunity to get out and, you know, at least up their game a bit so that they can come back to the team and give us something positive at least. So we'll get some of these younger guys out, and I mean, I think most of these guys are guys that probably won't make the team in the future, but, you know, at least we get an idea. If we loan them out, they get some time to play. It really kind of not softens up our squad, but, you know, opens it up a bit, so we know at least that, hey, these are the players that we have to work with, and these are the guys that are going to be gone, and makes it a bit easier as well to kind of navigate through the team. So pretty much any of these guys here that are, you know, essentially just younger, that are either not loaned out yet or in a situation that we're probably not going to give them that much time, then we'll do this for these guys here. So we'll loan out him as well. I think I'll leave anybody at 66, but for now we'll loan out more as well. And who knows how many of these guys are actually going to go, right? It's a matter of them actually, getting an opportunity to play somewhere else, that's what, you know, instigates that from happening. So we have a lot of those guys that can go away there, but, you know, the rest of these guys here as well should be relatively good. And then if we're not using one or, you know, a couple of them, then we can also add them to the loan list as well. So we'll see how this game goes here. And you can see our starting lineup. And we're going to be going for the 4-2-3-1. That seems to be the normal formation for the team, because I actually really like that formation. That's a fun formation to play with. And we'll see how that goes. And for this game, like I said, we'll make some changes. Bellamy's in there, though. And you can see he's getting the early goal for us, which is nice in this preseason affair. And then Fraser Campbell. Some of them actually very excited to have an opportunity to play with. Another one for Bellamy, too. So I guess he's happy to be off the bench. And that looks like a pretty convincing win there. 4-0 for us. And the sub Jordan Much they're getting in on the action as well. So that's a good game. That's a good starter for us here. And Bellamy really looking like he's making a big impact there. So we'll see how we do here against, obviously, a lot harder competition in Marseille. And they beat Newcastle 2-1. So we'll see. If we beat them, then we're better than Newcastle, right? Is that how this works? But Jordan Much there, getting on the board right away. It's a good, nice goal for him. But obviously, they're going to come back. You can see Ayew there with that goal. Another player that I've played with in the past. Another one. He's doubling up. If we can keep this 2-1 or get a goal late here, that would be a solid result. Even if we lose this game. Yeah, no late response there. That's alright, though. Good game. And Jordan Much showing that he's obviously ready to play this season as well. Alright, so the last sim game here for the episode. And as I said, I will be playing all the games for the season. I just do the simming for the preseason because obviously they're preseason games. It's fun to play against some of these teams, but I'd rather just get right through it. You know, make it a smaller episode when we look at a lot of other stuff. Get ready for the season. And there's Much again, getting another goal. He's really been doing a solid in these first 3 preseason games here. But, you know, it moves it along so that we can get to the actual season pretty quickly. And there we go. Gunnarsson brought him on, and look what he's doing. Can we hold on, though, is the question. Can we beat Valencia? That would be amazing. Oh, we did it. That's a solid end to the episode there. We have a 4-0 win there. I'm not sure what the first team was, but lose 2-1 against Marseille and then beat Valencia 2-1. So that's a preseason to be proud of. 2 wins, 1 loss. Some very solid teams there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this, guys. We'll be going into the season next episode, playing the first 3 games. So get excited for that. And I've asked a lot of things through this episode. Feel free to comment on anything that you've seen, and we'll get around to maybe bringing in some players you guys want to see, or at least, you know, figuring out this scouting, getting it to a point where we're really looking for the guys that we want. Until next episode, thank you for watching, though, and I'll have it, again, pretty soon. But until then, see you in the future. Cheers.